ourselves miniature universes. Subconsciously, we all expand and expand and expand and expand and expand.
In nomine Christi, Amen.
They tell an incredible story, the Sumerians do, of the Anunnaki, which is that there is another planet in our solar system, that gods, super beings, live on this planet, that these beings come to Earth.
Could the Anunnaki have genetically engineered humans? It sounds incredible until we consider that we ourselves genetically engineer the fruit and vegetables we eat every day. From tomatoes to apples and oranges to cloning Dolly the sheep. If we can genetically manipulate DNA, then who's to say that we weren't created or our DNA wasn't tampered with by another race of beings in the past? Now the question is, were we? Did they? And if we were, there must be some empirical evidence, some clues left behind, besides writing in a text that points to this.
Expanding universe, and we are ourselves miniature universes. Subconsciously, we all expand and 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 expand. Time for change.
Zecharia Sitchin.
If somebody says, where did you get the idea? I say, I read the Sumerian tablets, and that's what they say. They said that our solar system is made up of 12 members. And this is stated in the Sumerian text over and over and over again, not one time. And they say there is the sun, which is in the center, not like the Greeks or others thought that the earth is in the center, the sun. There's the moon, which they gave reasons why they considered it a member by its own, and 10, not 9, but 10 planets. Therefore, I'm very happy that when today astronomers look for this planet, they call it Planet X. They mean maybe the unknown planet, but it's also the 10th planet. They called it Nibiru, which means planet of the crossing, and the ancient symbol was the cross, not from Christian times, but from 6,000 years ago. And they say that this planet, the 12th member of our solar system, has a very large orbit of 3,600 years. And
well, where did all this come from? And I think that you need to turn to the ancient Sumerians themselves and listen very carefully to what they have to say, because what they have to say, not just in one place, but over and over and over again, is that they were taught civilization by these beings that came from the heavens to the earth. They called them the Anunnaki.
The Sumerians wrote down their history on clay tablets like these, which lay ignored in a Berlin museum for half a century. Few people have been able to decipher this ancient language, but one of them is Zecharia Sitchin.
the writings and the pictorial evidence left behind by the Sumerians going back 6,000 years speak and depict people who came from another planet called Nibiru, and many of the depictions show them much bigger, at least by a third, perhaps more than the average human being, so they were giants.
This Sumerian cylinder seal from a Berlin museum is astonishing for several reasons. First, it depicts our solar system with the sun at the center and the planets arrayed around it, a fact not known to European science till around 300 years ago. It also shows the planet Pluto, which we didn't discover till 1930. And amazingly, there's another planet, which the Sumerians called Nibiru, and believed that it was from where the Anunnaki, or celestial giants, came from.
If you look at the three figures depicted here, they all look more or less the same size. But if you bear in mind that this figure of the deity, that he is seated, and you add from the knee to the hip to his size, you will realize that he is about 10 feet tall, a giant, one of those who from heaven to earth came.
Looking for signs of extraterrestrial life, astronomers have searched deeper and deeper into the universe. But all along, maybe they should have been looking closer to home. For it's in our own solar system that a mysterious object has recently been detected, near where the Sumerians placed their planet Nibiru, home of the Anunnaki. For the believers, this is convincing evidence that the celestial giants are real.
The ancient Sumerian text, just in a very broad overview, basically tell us that more than 400,000 years ago that these Anunnaki came from space and landed on the earth in the Tigris-Euphrates Valley. They began to set up a colony that they called Eden.
According to Genesis, Eden, or Eden, is where Adam was created from dust and Eve from one of his ribs. Others, however, have a more high-tech version of how human life began.
In time, needing manpower, needing workers, jumped the gun on evolution using genetic engineering.
And they produced a hybrid which eventually became Cro-Magnon, or modern man.
Legend has it that when the Anunnaki came back after several thousand years to see how their genetic handiwork had turned out, they found the Earth females irresistibly attractive.
It starts in the Bible. There you can read, in the beginning at Moses, when the sons of the gods saw that the daughter of men were beauty, they took them to wife. Later, out of the body's womb, giants came.
So destructive were these titans that the Anunnaki who fathered them decided to destroy them. The apocryphal book of Baruch even tells us how many giants were wiped out.
The book of Baruch says, "Then the Lord created the great flood, destroyed all life, which then was on earth, including the 490,000 giants."
50,000 years ago, an advanced race of beings came to Earth. They established a civilization here. Modern humans inherited everything from these alien visitors, according to Zecharia. In fact, we are them.
They interfered with the indigenous population of this planet. And when I say interfere, I mean genetically, biologically.
Scientists find extraterrestrial genes in human DNA. The overwhelming majority of human DNA is off-world in origin. Off-world in origin. A group of researchers working at the Human Genome Project indicate that they made an astonishing scientific discovery. They believe so-called 97% non-coding sequences in human DNA is no less than genetic code of extraterrestrial life forms. Extraterrestrial
the next 10 years, we are going to learn about the origins, the secrets of our origins and all the mysteries that have been hidden from the human race.
We live in an expanding universe.
And the German news website Bild, about a giant mummified humanoid finger photographed by the Swiss entrepreneur and researcher Gregor Spuri during one of his trips to Egypt for investigate the pyramids of Giza. According to the article, he managed to make contact with a man who lives in the vicinity of Cairo, allegedly a member of a dynasty of grave robbers. He supposedly has kept the 40 centimeters mummified finger since the 60s, and apparently the Swiss photographer is the first person to get photos of the artifact. Gregory Spuri also took pictures of a 40-year-old X-ray image, alongside with a supposed medical certificate of authenticity. Unfortunately, the images available in the German website have low resolution, but I give them some tweaks in Photoshop for the sake of this video. The comparison with the Egyptian mummy gives us the exact idea of the size of the finger. Keep in mind that's extremely old and dehydrated, and it probably was originally bigger than that. The body which the finger belonged, most likely was not less than 5 meters tall, and assuming it's 100% authentic, it constitutes the smoking gun proof of the existence of the giants Nephilim, reported by ancient civilizations of Mesopotamia, as well as the Mediterranean and Indus Valley. The photos of Gregory Spuri inside and outside the pyramids give no room for allegations of a possible hoax, and according to his personal website, he's about to release a book with details about his research work, assisted by consultants with expertise in astrophysics, astronomy and Egyptology, as well as the legendary researcher and author Eric von Daniken. I just sent him an email, and he quickly answered me back confirming it's not a hoax. Though, I'm afraid I'm not gonna get further details, unless I buy his book. Anyway, the case is promising, and surely deserves close attention. It surely would be great if a DNA test was carried out in this finger, but I'm having a hard time thinking that the man who is holding it will make any move towards being tracked down by Egyptian authorities, and even if they manage to find him, definitely they will not allow information about this artifact going any further than that. In case of this mummified finger turns out to be actually authentic, it totally corroborates the work of Zecharia Sitchin on the Sumerian tablets that report the existence of the ancient extraterrestrial godlike race, called the Anunnaki.
Most amazing was the Sumerian knowledge of astronomy. They knew of all the planets we know of today, described them in texts, and even depicted them correctly by location and size. The astronomer Copernicus is often said to be the first to prove that the planets orbited around the sun, and that Earth was one of those planets. That was in 1543. But the Sumerians said the same thing 5,500 years earlier. Even more amazing, they described Uranus and Neptune as blue-green twins. Modern science was unable to closely observe these planets until 1986 with the flyby mission of the Voyager probe that found them to be blue-green twins exactly as the Sumerians had described them thousands of years earlier. The Sumerian texts, such as this one, explicitly state that all their advanced knowledge came from those whom they called Anunnaki, literally meaning those who from heaven to earth came.
But where did these visitors come from? Did the Sumerians leave any clues to the origin of the Anunnaki?
Ancient Sumerian writings describe a planet orbiting the sun on an oblique to the others, and of such a long orbit that it only makes one complete circuit every 3,600 of our years. They call this world Nibiru, and it was from that world that the Anunnaki came. If this theory is correct, it suggests how an inhabited planet, called Planet X by astronomers, could have once been close enough to Earth for the Anunnaki to reach us with some kind of short-range vehicles.
Does this explain how alien explorers might have come to Earth in spaceships not too different from those we have today? And if there is a planet such as the Sumerian texts describe, has it not passed by Earth time and time again?
Expanding universe, and we are ourselves miniature universes. So consciously, we all expand and 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 expand. Time for change. Consciousness in the world.
This is a crab circle found at Avery Manor, Wiltshire, on the 15th of July 2008. It shows a diagram of the solar system. All the planets in it in a ring. There's Mercury, Venus, right beside each other, Earth, and Mars opposite each other, if you watch here. Right, now this is the alignment of the planets on the 21st of December 2012. Right, Mercury and Venus beside each other, Mars and Earth opposite each other. Right, that's the inner planets. So now the outer planets. There's Jupiter, Saturn, now down to the right, left here, Neptune and Uranus. But what's that in between them? Strange, we'll come to that later. There's a line up of the planets now, 21st December, all the planets. Notice Pluto down at the bottom, that's in the crop circle too. So, the whole crop circle points out December 21st, 2012. Seems to be a big date. There's Pluto down there flashing, do you like that? But there's something else in the crop circle. Look at the red dot here. What's that? Between Uranus and Neptune, something that shouldn't be there. I think that could be the mysterious planet Nibiru. And that's the message for December 21st, 2012. Nibiru will be sitting there, hanging off, ready for the Queen and Royal Family to jump aboard, because all the crop circles turn up in Royal Family owned lands in the southeast of England. So, strange enough, isn't it? It's a strange world we live in. Well, that's my interpretation of the crop circle at Avebury. Anybody got a different one, let me know. One love from Ireland. Take it easy, lads.
Now let me explain you this. I can use both, but I had to use one. Okay, here is this half circle is the number, the day zero. The day zero is when the Pleiades, the Sun, and the Earth are joined together. And that's the 20th of May. Here in the middle, we have an eclipse, an annular eclipse, a partial eclipse of the Sun. And this is going to happen exactly the 20th of May, 2012. And then we have the number 16 in here. 16 days later, after the eclipse, is going to be the transit of Venus in front of the Sun. Now we have 4 times 13. 4 times 13 is 52. 52 is the new fire. Every 52 years, the sacred calendar and the solar calendar go to the same day, to the same start. That means that this is related to the new fire, the new eras that they celebrate every 52 years. And also we have here the number 20, and there were 13 months of 20 days in the sulking. All this proves that this is the sulking calendar. And we have these dates, the 20th of May, and we have also the 6th of June. We have 2 weeks. I don't know what it means, but we have to remember. And again, as I said, this is more or less saying it's going to be the return of Quetzalcoatl, of Kukulkan, of the Messiah. Something important. I don't know if it's related because both of them are so close together. Both of them appear. And this is the eclipse of May the 20th, 2012. It's going to be seen here, United States and Mexico too. Also in half of the world.
Expanding universe, and we are ourselves miniature universes. So consciously, we all expand and 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 expand. Time for change.
the sun has a temper tantrum. It releases a shock wave, a tsunami of radiation that could wipe out communication, weather satellites, GPS, spy satellites, you name it. It's up there in outer space.
So you're saying that my BlackBerry won't work?
The internet, Fox, television, cable, satellite TV, all of it could get wiped out around 2012. That's when the sun's magnetic field flips. North Pole and South Pole flip, releasing a shock wave of radiation, which will then hit the Earth minutes later, potentially wiping out a good chunk of our satellite communications. And that means we have to start to think about reinforcing our satellites, building redundant systems, because it means that GPS, the power grid, weather satellites, communication satellites, satellite television, all of that could get disrupted, peaking around 2012.
So your point is we can't do anything about it in space, but we can do something back here on Earth.
That's right.
But backup systems, are companies really doing that?
Well, they're going to have to do it because, see, we scientists made a mistake. Well, some of our data was off by a factor of 20, and that's why we're issuing this alert now. We made a mistake. 2012 will be much more serious than we previously thought.
Listening to you talk, I'm thinking, why 2K? I'm thinking it's just a tactic that put a lot of fear in a lot of people. It may have gotten us ready, but there was really no danger in the end.
Well, let's hope that it's a dud. Let's hope that nothing happens. However, what if our communication systems are wiped out? Billions of economic activity could be.
You think anyone's taking this seriously?
I think we're going to have to. The physicists are now sounding the alert. We made the mistake. Now is the time to begin to create redundant systems, reinforce our satellites, build backup systems.
Thank you, Doctor. Nice to know.
Everything in the universe is interconnected. In other words, our bodies are related to everything that corresponds to our physical senses. If you can see, smell, touch, hear, or taste something, then that is related to your existence. We are connected to our planet, as our planet is connected to our solar system. Our solar system is connected to our galaxy, and our galaxy is connected to the universe. It's all one living and breathing organism of life. This shift isn't just a shift for mankind. It's a shift that involves every level of dimension as well as every planet in our solar system. If our solar system is heating up, then the frequencies of each planet within this solar system is rising in conjunction to the galactic shift. The planets in our solar system are raising their vibrations right now. These planets are making preparation for the transformational shift to occur in the upcoming years, culminating in 2012. This is proof that the shift is already happening. So you're probably thinking, what does that mean for me? As the frequencies are rising, our anatomical structure is changing in accordance to this shift. Our DNA resonates with these gradual changes. Many people are discovering or rediscovering hidden abilities that they had when they were children, along with newly founded abilities such as seeing auras in other people, telepathy, or ESP. In the past, many people were afraid to talk about these abilities and suppressed them for fear of being ridiculed. Now, these abilities are becoming more prevalent to those in tune with the shift, and people are outwardly expressing these abilities. For those who are aware of what's happening, we're all going through a DNA upgrade right now. If you look at the lineage of mankind, there is no gradual change found throughout our lineage. The change was abrupt. This will also be the case in what we're currently experiencing. Through this DNA upgrade, our DNA will be fully utilized, including all of the junk DNA that we aren't currently using, which will unlock the mystery of why we're here, who we were in previous lives, and what our true spiritual potential is capable of accomplishing. For some people, this is already happening when they feel that sense of urgency, or feel like it's time to go home. Your DNA is giving you these messages. People are ending dead-end relationships in which their bodies can no longer tolerate a person of negative influence. These people are surrounding themselves with other positive, like-minded people as they unknowingly prepare themselves for this transition. Many people will continue to follow the sheep mentality and will continue to ridicule others as they make this transition, only to find that they'll be left behind with no one to blame but themselves. For now, those who are aware of the shift enjoy it. There's no better time to be alive than right now.